Hey, what up everyone, it's Akerolton again. Last time I made a video on how I like to approach T-side Mirage, so I thought I would make a video about CT side Mirage as well, and how you guys like the approach there. So I will consider different things. I will talk about B side, mid, and A control, and ways I like to just play general map control on the map as CT, and holding off stuff. So yeah, first off, I can go into B, and I'm usually an AWPer, so I will talk about a lot of AWP aspects, and I'll also talk a lot about rifle aspects. I'll try to talk about both. But yeah, let's say you take a standard round where you have one guy holding mid and two guys at B, one at short and one at watching holes, while there's the last two are on A. So at least if you have a pretty good spawn, you could go for this quick info peek with an AWP and hold from here. It depends on your spawn though, kind of, because you'll probably be quicker than the T's, but it depends, it really depends. But if you got control here, there are certain nades, by the way, that I like to throw against rushes. You have this one, of course, a molly, pretty much blocks them from going past the places where they can see through the windows. And then of course in general just throwing nades up here. There's also another really good flash that I can show you guys. If you hear someone in apps and you're just playing close here, by the way, this is a really good position in pistols as well, because you can stand here and not shoot at all, and they will just run past you and get out on sight, and you will be able to pick them off afterwards, or when they plant or whatever. But if you're holding here and you're hearing steps in apps, this just right click flash, and yeah, it's a really good pop flash. People don't see it until it's like too late often. Of course they can't turn from that one, but yeah, it's a pretty good flash when you're holding B holes. So yeah, okay. Two angles I like to hold B holes at as an AWPer is this one. It's kind of a pixel angle. You don't have way too much time here to like react or stuff, but if you see anyone pushing, like going underground or anything, you will see someone there, right? So you will be able to take a shot and you could kill someone or at least tag someone through there. And you get a lot of information just by playing this, and it's still pretty safe, and you get a lot of information. Another angle I like to hold is from here. You can hold here with a rifle or with an AWP. The reason I like this angle is because the T's that walk up here, they, like, you're standing here, right? They're considering that someone could be here, here, or by car. So the last spot they're gonna check is like out here, and you'll be able usually to have at least one shot off and just drop down and get to safety before they are able to trade you. So it's a pretty good position, at least in my opinion. So yeah, there's that one. You could also, of course, play back here and watch towards holes. Pretty good position as well. Get information here. If they run out really quick, it can be hard to get these shots off, but yeah, it's decent. And if you're playing B side, let's say you play it alone and you're having a rifle, this position is pretty sick, because it's pretty hard to spot from the T's perspective. A lot of T's check it though when they get on to B. But yeah, you're able to get a shot off here usually before they see you, and you can even spot pixels towards short, and you will be safe from short, but you will hear them there as well. Okay, so let's say you take short control, and let's say you have an AWP, like, which is the perspective I usually like to think of, because I'm usually an AWPer. Like, let's say you have one in mid. You usually do want to have that, or one in connector. But you can peek out really aggro here if you got a flash from a teammate, or if you're certain that you can get a kill here. But it's pretty risky, because from here you could get spotted from someone coming underground to mid or connector or like mid. So what I like to do is to just stand far back here, and you will spot someone walking up like top mid or down in mid here. You can see heads here, so from people walking mid. So that's a pretty good angle that I like to hold at least with the op. And yeah, then later on you can back off. If you're playing just with a rifle, you can stand like here, watch towards Delpan and towards connector. You just have a lot of room here to work on. Okay, so let's talk about mid. Mid is a bit weird in my opinion on Mirage, as an opera at least, because if you're playing mid every round, and let's say you have a spawn which is like here or something, a pretty shit spawn towards to go mid, it's a huge risk kind of to take, because if the T's have money for an op and they will be out there before you, you're pretty much gonna be dead right. So yeah, I don't know, at least you have to consider if you're just gonna hold it really defensively, or if you would rather go towards short to hold mid. You have to consider these things when you get where you spawn. If you have a good spawn, of course you go straight out to mid. Someone likes to peek like this. It's a pretty quick peek, and you can quickly fall back. What I like to do is to jump on top of this. It gives you a lot of visibility towards mid. Maybe it takes a little bit longer to get away from there. But one thing that is really good with jumping up here and watching towards mid is that if they have an op there, and let's say you jump up here real quick, he'll see your feet and maybe he tags you in the feet, so you won't die, right? And you'll be able to get that frag back and just fall back off and stay alive, you know? So yeah, later into the round, at least what I like to do, if I know that there aren't anyone mid yet, like to throw a smoke underground. So I know that's way too deep though, but throw a smoke underground so you can be more safe when you're looking towards mid, or you can also pop an underhand flash and just take underground control. And then also after you've got an underground control, you can slowly creep up towards mid. But after this point you gotta be really careful, because like I said in the last video, as a T, you like to hold here, right? So if there's anyone pushing up, and you'll be able to fall back and get a kill. So yeah, there are certain things you really gotta consider when you're holding mid with an op. But yeah, if you're missing your first shot, you should not re-peek. It depends on your rank, of course, but I would not re-peek this usually, unless I know there's a teammate close and they have a flash or something. So then I would like rather just go back, look towards short, maybe stand here, and you can look towards underground, see if they pop up there. So yeah, there's pretty good positions to hold. But okay, let's say you have a sick A spawn as an opper. What I like to do is call for the teammate that goes A to throw a smoke in palace. You're not gonna do this, by the way. That's your teammate's job. And there's two ways to approach this. One is like this, which is the quickest way to peek towards ramp. This is the quickest way, but it's also the most risky way, because you will expose a lot of your body towards the T's. So what I like to do after this smoke is thrown by the teammate, I go up here, get up on ramp, stairs, and you can look towards ramp. And anyone coming here for an execute or just checking out ramp, it's pretty much free kills for you. So that's pretty good. And after that, even after, if they execute towards A, you can fall back here. You can get far back into jungle and just spot towards everything if they cross, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's a pretty good position as an opper when you're playing CT side Mirage. Another place you can go if you get a good spawn, and you shouldn't use these angles way too often, because they're gonna be very predictable and they're gonna try to stop it, right? So you're just gonna do it now and then when it works out. The same with this position. So if you get another good A spawn, and you can jump up here, and you can get a pretty good timing into going into palace. From here on, you should either have someone having really control of ramp, or you can peek on further, and yeah, just hold from here. If someone peeks out, you'll have a pretty good chance to hit the shot and get out of there pretty safely. And as an opper, you want to position yourself so you get the most shots possible, right? While not being in a risky or deadly zone. So yeah. Okay, so as the guy usually playing A, as a rifler, I like to throw this molly as the first thing I do, because this one will stop any pending rush and give you time to get a better position and everything. And you know that the T's can rush out ramp pretty quick. So yeah, after you've thrown that molly, at the timing when it goes off, you just throw a smoke off. This gives you a lot of time. After that, you can position yourself in different positions. One is by try box, like here. You spot towards short. You can spot towards many angles, but you can also get spotted from many angles, and people usually molly this, so that's a bit risky. Oh, I don't have God mode on. There we go. But yeah, you can also, further on in the round, play in balk. You can play this position, you can look towards Tetris, but they can also see you, and someone checks this now and then. And if it's a molly that hits this, you'll be having a rougher time getting out of here. But like playing under balk in general is a pretty decent position. You can spot and go back pretty defensively and throw flashes that work out pretty well against the T's. So yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, third place to play the op, or not a third. There's a lot, but like towards connector. I like throwing this smoke. It doesn't always work out how I want it to. It's like kind of a one-way smoke. They might be able to spot you, but it really depends on the people you play against and how well you throw the smoke. And for as a rifler, I just like holding like this and throwing this smoke anyways, maybe just to obscure some vision from the T's if they go close. And from here on you can like throw mollies underground and flash if you have an opper or a rifler here that wants to take control of underground. Something that depends on the level you play of, but which is really important, is to really support your teammates with flash and stuff. If you have an opper mid and you heard that he took his first shot, and usually in lower level they wouldn't call for a flash mid, but if you know that he would probably repeat, you should call that, you should flash for him, and you can flash mid. That's maybe a bit too deep, but it's not way too deep. And yeah, so anyone top mid would get flashed off, and the upper mid could peek more safely. But yeah, playing connector with the op is pretty good as well, in my opinion. It just, if they go a lot of people underground or mid, you can get catched off guard easily, so it's easier if you have an rifler on short or something. But after you have like taken your initial mid control, and if you see that they go on A execute, for example, you can spot pretty safely here towards Palace and so on, and then fall back further here. So it's pretty good. By the way, one position you can hold if you see that there's an initial A execute, if you have an opera in window or you're playing connector, you can go far back to this position, because there's a lot of people that, depends on the rank you play at, but some people will be spotting from Tetris or jumping towards stairs to get control, and those are free frags if you stand in this position, and you're not exposed from basically anything except connector. But if you know that not connector is no problem, and you can also, yeah, look towards connector from here, of course. So yeah, that is some of the stuff of CT side Mirage, I guess. Let me know what you guys think about this kind of videos. I know they might be a bit like not that organized yet, but I'll try to work on it and get it better. But this is my points of view on taking control on Mirage as a CT. Yeah, so I'm happy for some feedback in the comments and what you guys think I should do different and what I should look into. So thank you guys for watching. See you later. Hey everyone, it's Akerolf here. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Also, you can make sure to check out my other videos or go to my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Akerolf. So see you guys, cheers.